Prehistory. It's something that I assume every single person who watches my videos absolutely loves, and is the reason why I'm even making videos like this in the first place. And one of the most popular questions ever asked to a person like me is, what is your favorite dinosaur, or what's your favorite prehistoric animal? Well, I'm about to finally answer that question with my top 20 favorite prehistoric animals. Let's go. And Kylosaurus. Now, I don't think I'm alone here in saying that I have tons, and I mean tons of nostalgic memories of watching this creature smash bones with its amazing tail. And while this creature is the quintessential awesome herbivore, I honestly over time have grown to like more dinosaurs. But there still is a small piece in my heart that still loves this thing, and I couldn't help but put it on this list just because of all the memories. Concaveinator. Now, Concaveinator is a creature that I like just because of how unique it is. It is the humpbacked hunter. It is a carnivorous camel lizard. It is a creature that, for some odd reason, has evolved to have a hump in the middle of its body. And it's just really cool. I don't know, there's just something about a hump on a giant theropod dinosaur that is just really, really cool. And of course, that means that it gets on my favorite list. Setecsaurus. Now, Setecsaurus gets on here for multiple reasons. One, it's adorable. Two, we know what color it was in real life, which is something you don't really get to say about too many prehistoric creatures. And three, with dinosaurs being, well, birds, and birds being dinosaurs, it's really cool to have this one cute little dinosaur that is the perfect amalgamation of what we normally perceive as dinosaur and what we perceive as bird, with it being the parrot lizard. Which, I don't know, there's something about that that is really, really interesting, and gets it on this list. Dimetrodon. Now, Dimetrodon is another very popular prehistoric creature, mainly because tons of little kids were tricked into thinking this thing was actually a dinosaur, when really, it was a synopsid. But the reason why I like Dimetrodon is mainly because of its more modern depictions, cause sure, a scaly lizard with a spine is cool, but what about a humpback dog? I don't know, something about that is way more interesting, and it's also cool knowing that we are actually more closely related to this creature than it was to dinosaurs. Dino Kairos. Now, Dino Kairos is probably on here for the main reason that it is one of the weirdest yet most fascinating dinosaurs that I have ever seen. Describing this thing, I'd have to mix the body parts of 3 different creatures just to officially describe it, being a humpbacked duck with theropod claws. Just saying that alone makes me sound like I'm describing a Godzilla monster. But no, I am describing a real living, breathing creature, and it's just a clear example of how amazing dinosaurs could get. Compsognathus. Now, Compsognathus is a dinosaur that gets this high for being a dinosaur that both me and my family can enjoy. I, of course, like it because it's a cute, fluffy little dinosaur. But my parents love it because it has a funny name, which is all that is really needed to have a family love a dinosaur. And I have a couple of nice memories of me and my family having fun discussions and jokingly talking about Compsognathus. Irritator. Now, Irritator is a dinosaur that makes it on here because of how funny it is. Irritator, when it was discovered, had a lot of fake fossil body parts in it to make it look like something it wasn't. So, a bunch of paleontologists had to go through the meticulously annoying task of finding out where the fake bones ended and the real bones began. And thus, they were so damn annoyed by this task that they named it Irritating Challenge, which is just hilarious. Also, it being the smallest Spinosaur is also interesting in its own right, but its name just sells me immediately. Minya Mawamtuka Moyawamkia. Now, that name alone is why this dinosaur is number 13 on the list. It's just like Irritator, except the name is 10 times crazier and 10 times more hilarious. It's just so nuts. It sounds like fluent gibberish. But nope, it literally means beast of the Umtuka River. I guess that's what happens when different languages are created, you know? One language, it sounds normal, and one language, it sounds like absolute gibberish. But regardless, I absolutely love this dinosaur for its heart-shaped vertebrae and its amazing name. Archaeopteryx. Now, Archaeopteryx, under almost any other circumstances, would not be in this video. But thanks to this YouTube channel, it's on here. It's that simple. With Archaeopteryx becoming my channel mascot, there is no denying that has made me love this dinosaur like 10 times more than I ever thought I would. It's just such a cool dinosaur, gliding from tree to tree, and I just thought it was a nice channel mascot. And for now, it has done its job as my mascot for almost a year, and I don't think I'm planning on changing it. Aetherium. Now, Aetherium gets on this list because it's a fusion of two creatures that I really like. It is basically what if a tapir and a hippo had a baby. Now, I love tapirs and I love hippos, and because of that, I sure as hell love Aetherium. Compsognathus. Now, Compsognathus is mainly on here because out of all the Tyrannosaurids, it is the most unique. Because most Tyrannosaurids have, while mildly slender skulls, don't go to this extreme extent as Compsognathus. And I just like how it turns up the skinny skull up to 11 and turns into this nice, sleek, fluffy, slender-nosed creature with a hilarious nickname, Pinocchio Rex. So when it comes down to it, I love the slender face, I love the feathers, I love Compsognathus. Diplodocus. Now, Diplodocus mainly gets on here for a few reasons. One is because when I was younger, I watched a documentary about entelodons and, to a degree, Diplodocus that got me intrigued about the creatures because they depicted it as the bully of its time, and that kind of got me interested about it. As well as that, I really love the idea of a 7-foot tall, 1,000-pound killer pig. It's just straight out of your worst nightmares. And that's why I like Diplodocus so much. It's straight out of your worst nightmares and is the equivalent to the horror movie Razorback, but millions of years ago. Diplodocus. Now, Diplodocus is my second favorite sauropod of all time. And I mainly say this because Diplodocus, when I was younger, was a creature that I revered for being absolutely humongous. Like, for many years, it was the longest dinosaur I knew, until I found out about, like, Archaeopteryx and those guys. But regardless, Diplodocus is a very nostalgic sauropod, thanks to walking with dinosaurs and just being an awesome, peaceful leaf eater. Ramforus. Now, Ramforus is my favorite pterosaur, and the reason why is because it's one of the few pterosaurs that both me and my family can enjoy. My family likes it for its silly name, and I like it because of its silly name and its needle-like beak and teeth. It's just such a sleek, mildly silly, but also pristine fish eater. It's just a nice pterosaur with tons of nostalgia behind it, which is a reoccurring theme with some of the later dinosaurs on this list. Hippest. Now, Hippest is a mix of two things that I love: prehistory and horses. So, Of course, the first horse is going to be a personal favorite of mine. As well as that, it gets extra adorable points for being a horse the size of a house cat, which is something that a lot of people would probably want in their house, including me.
Meet Leviathan, a powerful, fearsome monster, an imaginary creature of myth and legend, until now.
Now, Leviathan, also known as Leviathan, is a prehistoric whale that I really like because it is the only prehistoric animal that I was introduced to by my grandparents. I even tried making a second grade project about it, and I failed. But that was all because I just loved this killer whale. That was the closest thing to Herman Melville's Moby Dick, but in real life. And that's why I just found it so amazing. And also because it could fight Megalodon, which is also really, really awesome. It's just the coolest whale out there. Carcharodontosaurus. Now, when I was younger, I used to be obsessed with trying to find a carnivorous dinosaur that was bigger and badder than T-Rex. And out of all the ones I could find, the one I liked the most was Carcharodontosaurus. And yes, this meant that I read every single time Carcharodontosaurus got beaten by T-Rex in a pivot animation. But those were fun times and simpler times, and even now I still love this giant shark-toothed lizard. Pylosaurus Fungi, better known as Predator X, but officially called Pylosaurus Fungi. Pylosaurus Fungi is a sea monster that is similar to Carcharodontosaurus in that it was the sea monster that I hoped would be bigger and badder than at the time, overrated sea monster, in my opinion, Megalodon. And I wanted it to win so bad. I remember watching tons and tons of videos, just hoping that Predator X would win. He never did. He defeat everything else, but he never beat Megalodon. But those were fun times. I really liked watching Pylosaurus Fungi destroy everything, and I look on it fondly as I read every time Megalodon destroyed Pylosaurus Fungi. Fun times. Inostrancevia. Now, Inostrancevia is on here for a couple of major reasons. One, it introduced me to Primeval, which is an awesome show, and I have tons of memories of watching it just destroy everything. I watched it throw cars, I watched it kill future predators and Scutosauruses and Walking with Beasts. It was just an kicking machine in these kinds of shows, and watching all of those just made me absolutely love this creature. And it makes me love it even more now, looking back on those fond memories of watching it obliterate everything. Ankylosaurus. Now, to most, this creature's called Ankylosaurus, but when I was a kid, I called this thing an Ankylosaurus, and me and my family absolutely loved it. And to this day, it has grown into my favorite dinosaur. Now, you might be thinking, well, this is just a 10-foot-tall sauropod. What's so amazing about it? Well, to me, it is my childhood, because this creature truly is the mascot for my childhood. It reminds me of a time when things were simple. I was a dumb 5-year-old kid who just loved dinosaurs, and me and my parents read the dinosaur books and laughed at such goofy names like Ankylosaurus. It just reminds me of those times. And nowadays, I also just think it looks cool. I like the idea of an oxymoron, and a small sauropod is a good example of that. As well as that, it's just the face of my childhood, and nothing can replace Ankylosaurus as that mascot of my childhood. Now, there probably is a dinosaur for all of you that does the exact same thing as Ankylosaurus and remind you of your dinosaur childhood. Comment down which dinosaur that is, or if you want, comment down your entire list of your favorite dinosaurs. And see you guys next time. Bye.